How's it going, guys? Just waiting for a bit of an audience to build here. See if anyone joins in. Talk about the chase the other day. Next steps. Just driving down the interstate here, I-94 again, right where all the snow came through the other day. Seeing the aftermaths. Cars off the road still. Wow, the tracks. I saw where a semi had jackknifed back there and took out the median, fencing in the median. The roads are pretty good right now, though. Not too bad. This is the third time I've driven through here now. I drove through here, oh, my rear windshield wiper finally unthawed. Still some ice stuck to it though. It's not really cleaning. Okay, how's it going, guys? So we got some people joining here. So I'm driving down I-94 right now out of St. Cloud, Minnesota, back towards Alexandria, towards the Fargo area. So right where I was chasing the snow and driving through the other day. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you liked it. It was a unique chase. It's December, chasing tornadoes, and then in the same day, shortly, a couple hours later, I'm chasing winter weather warning. So it's still a little icy here. Some spots with some ice. Road's mostly clear, but a few remnant puddles of ice and snow here along I-94. So, unique chase the other day. We had this big system. Hey, how's it going, Chris? Or Kyle? Chris's son. It was a unique chase the other day on Wednesday. Pretty unique, weird storm system that came through across the United States. Came out of the Rockies with strong winds and frontal pass, big, almost like haboobs, dust storms and stuff. And it only took like 5 hours for it to get from there to like eastern Nebraska, where storms started to initiate. Had this big comma head Fibonacci shape to it. And so dusty, big dust storms down in the southern central plains. There ended up being, there was a fire hazard risk down there as well, and there ended up being a fire that burned a large area of 2 counties in Kansas. Paradise, Kansas is a city there. I believe they were heavily damaged from the fire, just like Paradise, California. So not a good idea to name your town Paradise with so many wildfires happening these days. But so big dusty system that had all this dirt picked up from the southern dry, drought-stricken plains. And I saw, in fact, that dirt later on mixed with the storms. It was raining like mud rain. I saw a report from another storm chaser, Simon Brewer, saying that he was getting mud was raining on him. But that was in Nebraska. I played a little bit further to the northeast, out ahead of the storms in southern Minnesota. Thought it would be interesting to cover the storm from that, instead of being right where the storms initiated and trying to see tornadoes out of the gate during the daylight. I wanted to kind of work the I-90 corridor in Minnesota. And I mean, how often do you get tornado warnings in Minnesota in December, mid-December? I don't think ever, right? And especially no tornadoes. So if a tornado, there's never been a tornado before in Minnesota. I think they do have a confirmed one. I ended up intercepting the whole line of storms in Albert Lee, Minnesota, where I-90 and I-35 come together. And the tornado sirens are going off there in Albert Lee. And the area of rotation passed just to the northwest of town. It was moving so quick I couldn't react. I was in town, Albert Lee. I thought it was just going to be a wind, some strong winds coming through. I wasn't thinking tornado. I mean, I knew there was a chance for tornado, but I was hoping if there was going to be a tornado, I'd come closer to Albert Lee where I could drive out of town and see it. But it was a little further than I could get to in time. I tried to get to it, but it was moving like 70, 80 miles an hour. And I did see some pictures from some frame grabs of video of that area of rotation. It looked like a funnel and debris. So it looks like it did produce a weak tornado, EF0 tornado, which would be the first tornado in December. Here's a view out the window. Still snowy on the ground from the snow the other day. So I got in. So the tornado watch the other day was initiated at. It went into effect at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I was right came into Sioux Falls right about that time. And I had an option to drop all the way south down to Sioux City and make an earlier in the day intercept on the storms, or stay a little further north ahead of them on I-90 and let things evolve and chase the Minnesota part of it, northern Iowa, Minnesota part of it. I don't know if I made the right or the wrong mistake, but maybe the right mistake, because I did end up being able to easily I beat the snow, or got to the worst part of the snow in Alexandria right as it started happening. So got to chase two weird phenomenons there, or weird weather situations in December. Although the snow is not really weird, but the tornado warnings are. But then being able to get from a tornado warning to winter storm warning was pretty unique. So but I chased from east of Sioux Falls, dropped south to Spencer, Iowa. Let the storms come up to me then. And it looked like I needed to get more east from there, so I blasted north back to I-90 and went east, stay ahead. I was riding right along the edge of the line, which ended up being a derecho. It went like 666 miles with damaging winds, wind speed strong enough. Plow up here, still working the roads. So those storms were riding along I-94 and dropping all kinds of nasty CG lightning all over the place. And I'm headed west right now, towards northwest. Dropping all kinds of nasty CG lightning all over the place. Out ahead of me, coming out of the anvil of the storms. I recorded some video though. I got some slow-mo video of that lightning. I posted one of them in the highlights video. I should have went through the rest of my videos. Pull out some more slow-mo, because I did get some other lightning bolts, but I posted the most impressive one, big CG bolt blasted down right next to the highway, the interstate. So I went from Spencer north to I-90, and I got on I-90 and stayed right along with those storms, a lot of lightning's falling down, all the way to Albert Lea, Minnesota. Lee spelled L-E-A, so I kept saying the name wrong until people corrected me. Doesn't look like how you would say, you know. Lee, I expect L-E-E, right? So those storms came through the Albert Lea area, and then I hopped on I-35 up into Minnesota, and it stayed fairly warm in the little curl clear area of the system until the backside wrapped all the way around, brought moisture all the way around into that cold air that was coming in, punching in on the backside, and then started getting hit with. At first, it was raining just a little bit. And in a short distance, we went from like upper 50s to below freezing in probably like a 20-mile stretch, I'd say. 20 to 30 mile stretch. Where at one point, it fell slowly. It was like at one point, it dropped real sharply all of a sudden from like 56, 57 Fahrenheit down to 48, 46 Fahrenheit, around in there. And then I kind of hovered around in that mid-40s area for a while, and then started dropping down to freezing, and started getting hit by these ice pellets. After the rain, it was these ice pellets, just tons of little ice pellets. I stuck my hand out the window, and it just stung really bad, getting hit by those ice pellets. Real little tiny things though, like BB sized. And then that eventually switched over to snow. Got some rough, snowy, icy spots there we just passed. They do a pretty good job at keeping this interstate clear. It's better when it's sunny, because then the stuff they put down in the sun kind of melts the snow and ice. And I was noticing under the overpasses of the roads over the interstate, where there was shadow, it was freezing. It was real icy. Every time I'd go under one of those, it'd get icy. So I chased all the way. I got to Alexandria, which were just 16 miles from Alexandria now, coming up to where I was chasing the snow winter storms. You can see it had already started being nasty here. There's an old wreck right there, just off to the left there. We passed tracks of someone going off the road there. Looked like probably a semi. I stopped and stayed the night in Alexandria and shot some video there for a few hours, live streamed. And next morning I just had to get up at 7:30 so I could start driving early. Maybe I left at 8. Start driving towards Dilworth, which is on the Minnesota side of Fargo. Basically Fargo. I had to took a COVID test, and then drove 2.5 hours back to the southeast after that to St. Cloud. I spent the night in St. Cloud last night. I had to get new tires for the Subaru. One had a patch in it, the other one was leaking. And the two front tires were down to, on their gauge of 1 out of 10, we're down to a 2, which is about the time that you want to definitely want to start changing them if you're just doing normal driving. But if you're driving through a bunch of nasty weather all the time, it's icy in this left lane now. I'm going to drop back behind this semi, I think, into the right lane. Jeez, that's too bad. Cleared up. Oh, it goes back to the left lane, gets better now. The right lane's bad, so. But anyway, so my two front tires were 2s, and my backs were like 4s. And that was a couple thousand miles ago, so it may have been a little lower than that even. And the two back ones, the left one was constantly leaking slowly, and the back right one, I had to put a patch in it because I got a nail in it. But I always go to Discount Tire and I get the road hazard warranty, so I was able to call them and find the tires that I've been running on this Subaru for the last couple of years. This will be my third set. It is. I've got them on now. This is my third set of the Cooper Discover AT34S all-terrain tires, because I sell them in size 235 60 R17, which is what I need for the Subaru Crosstrek. And so I called them. When you look online on their website, it was saying that those tires are discontinued, that you can't get them anymore. You can't order them on the website. So I was looking at another option, which they had the same size. Only other option, all-terrain option, Subaru, or these Falcon, I think it is, Wild Peak all-terrains or something like that. A little cheaper than the Coopers, actually. So I was gonna try and get those because they had those in stock everywhere, and I called the Discount Tire, but I couldn't get an appointment when you try to book an appointment online until like today or Saturday. No, today. I think it was today, or maybe even Saturday was the earliest. Anyway, I didn't want to wait around that long, but on a whim I called them and asked them about the Falcons. And they're like, oh, well, it'll take us like a week to order those, but we've got these Cooper Discover AT34Ss in. And I'm like thinking to myself, holy crap, I mean, that's exactly what I want. And so I was like, yeah, I can get those today and an appointment today. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, I was in shock that worked out as well as it did. So I got an appointment yesterday at 4:15 to get another set of Cooper Discover AT34Ss in. And I only had to pay for 3 of them because the back right one that had the nail in it qualified for the road warranty, and then they gave me so I got a free tire to replace that one, and then I bought 3 new ones. So it worked out nice. So I got brand new shoes on the Subaru right now. The only other thing I think I need to do on the Subaru now is maybe new shocks in the back. But I don't know. I did have a lift kit on the Subaru, and I got that taken off a few months ago when I got new axles, because I kept destroying my CV axles in the front tires. And they kept getting destroyed after I get basically the same use out of them as a set of tires, like 65,000 miles or so. And so I had, when the last set of axles were going bad again, making all kinds of noise, so I had the Subaru dealer pulled the lift kit off for me and put new axles in. So I should be good to go for a while with the axles. Subaru's got right now exactly 136,900 miles on it. And I've gone through 2 sets of CV axles. I'm on my 3rd set of CV axles and my 3rd set of tires. And I got it in June 2019. So about 2.5 years ago. But yeah, maybe some new shocks. Oh yeah, I bought it with 0 miles for sure. Trying to figure out what I want to do for my next chase vehicle. I'm going to drive this one until it won't go anymore. I just drive it into the ground. I'm hoping I can get at least like double the mileage that I've already got on it. Hopefully I can do like 400,000 or 500,000, but I don't know if the body will last that long. I've already got, both mirrors are destroyed. The front end is destroyed on the left because I first hit a deer and it cracked it, and then Hurricane Laura shredded it, ripped it apart. Debris hit it and broke it more, and then the wind ripped it open. Yeah, kind of, Canuck Girl. I gotta wait for COVID test to come through first. I'm just getting closer to the border. There's a little bit more ice and stuff on the road here. This is coming up on Alexandria now. I'm gonna get into the left lane. It's not as nasty in the left lane. This right lane's nasty. I had to drive this with the old tires, and I made it. Wild Peaks, that's what they are, Wild Peaks. Yeah. If these Coopers do get discontinued, I'll go with the Wild Peaks next. But I figured I'd stick with the Coopers because they've done really well for me. I love them. Incredible traction, like for chasing tornadoes on dirt roads, both muddy and dry. They're quiet, fairly quiet on the highway for the long distance travel. They're great in the snow. Only time I've gotten stuck was when it was before I had the 2-inch lift on the Crosstrek, and I got stuck on a drift on the bottom. The bottom got hung up. And then since then I got the lift, and I didn't get stuck in anything. But I drove through some pretty nasty stuff in Montana, really deep drifts on the interstate there. I was like one of the first cars. It was crazy thinking back. Like, that was nasty. And the Subaru did just fine right through it. But I don't have the lift on anymore now, so we'll see. I don't think it's worth it. Every 65,000 miles getting a new set of CV axles. It's like more than $1,000 job. That truck, he lost traction a little bit, hitting the brakes. This is worse right now than it was the other day because of these people driving right now. I don't even know if he lost traction. I think he thought he might rear end the car in front of him because they're all stacked up. I'm backing off a little bit, getting some space. He's got a slow car in the left lane right now. It's no problem. Coming up on Alexandria, Minnesota now, I-94. I think it's maybe this next exit coming up here. I see a sign with food and stuff listed. Oh, there's a big wreck aftermath right here. A couple of aftermaths of wreck. Right, see it all. The dirt's all torn up in the median there. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's like 4 now we've seen since I started streaming. Maybe 5. Let's count them here as we're driving along to Fargo. I know once you get to Fargo, it's not just like 20 miles before Fargo, the roads are fine. It didn't snow hardly at all there since I drove it yesterday. But keep the tally here. It looks like that's 4 slide offs we've seen. Let's put it at 5. I think there was one right before I started streaming. So 5 slide offs. Canadian border is not closed. Canadians can come to the United States and Americans can go to Canada. If you go into Canada, though, you need to be vaccinated and you gotta show proof of a negative COVID test within 72 hours of crossing the border. Otherwise, if you don't have a test, you're going to be doing a 2-week quarantine, checking in every day, and possibly doing day 1 and day 8 test. If you're a Canadian coming to the States, you just need to be vaccinated, show proof of vaccination, no tests or anything. I don't believe. I could be wrong about that, but if you're Canadian and you cross into the States, if you're down in the States for less than 72 hours, you're not required to have a negative COVID test. So you could just drop down for a few hours as a Canadian and hang out and then head back up, no problem. Now you could get randomly selected to have to take a COVID test. This is Alexandria exit right here. This is where I was shooting the snow video the other night. Right lane's nasty again. 16 degrees Fahrenheit out there. Hello, Curtis. These new tires are great, though. Night and day difference with my traction. Like, I feel like I'm just suction cupped to the road. You guys remind me later, and I'll show you a video of. I'll show you them in the live stream. So I was telling people about the chase the other day. If you're just joining in and you missed it, chased a really unique, what I coined Maycember chase. May and December. Got this big low pressure, big comma-shaped low pressure, Fibonacci looking system came ripping through the United States. Produced all kinds of different weather, from dust storms in eastern Colorado, western Kansas, firestorms, fires that rippled across multiple counties, killing livestock, destroying some towns. Paradise, Kansas is one of them. Dusty down in Oklahoma, western Oklahoma Panhandle, and the strong winds rip through there. Wind warnings all through the plains. And then that system, as it came out of the Rockies, about 5-6 hours later, it started initiating storms, severe storms, tornado-warned storms in Nebraska. Tornado watch went up at 2 p.m. right about the time I got to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, which is right at the corner of Nebraska, Minnesota, Iowa, where those states all come together. And at that point, I had the decision I could either drop south to Sioux City, Iowa, and try to get in front of the storms down there, basically just have one intercept down there and be done. or work the I-90 corridor in southern Minnesota, northern Iowa for the tornado potential at night, and then trying to be able to get back into where that low pressure system curls the backside, brings cold air, dry cold air, mixes with moisture, wrapping around, and produces snow. And so I got on I-90 and traveled east of Sioux Falls. Eventually I dropped a little south, 40, 50 miles south of I-90, maybe about 35, 40 miles south of I-90, and ended up in Spencer, Iowa, as the line of tornado warned storms made its way towards me. It's right at that northern edge of the, as it starts wrapping north, wrapping around the low pressure. And was watching the line approach when I was in Spencer, Iowa, and the part that was coming towards me kind of falling apart, so I needed to get more east. So I blasted north and east, I-90, and I got on I-90 and started going east, and had all this nasty CG lightning dropping down all around me. And you guys can see this in the video I posted. I think it's titled Tornado Warning, Tornado and Winter Storm Warnings in Maycember or something like that. I can't remember exactly what I said. But it's the most recent non-live video I posted. You can find it on my channel, my archives. Recent uploads, you can just look at that. You can go to recent uploads. Anyway, so I got to I-90 north of Spencer, Iowa. Started going east. Nasty CG lightning dropping down all around. And was just barely getting ahead of the line for the longest. I drove for over an hour east to Albert Lea, Minnesota, and just barely got out ahead of the line. Kind of the northern end of the strongest derecho winds. And got out ahead of them, got into Albert Lea. Christmas decorations all over the place. Southern Minnesota, mid-December, right? So it's Christmas decorations. There's still piles of snow in places and stuff. And tornado sirens start going off a few minutes later. And a new tornado warning was issued from the long storm coming up towards me. But I went a little too far east into Albert Lea. And the area rotation passed just to the northwest of Albert Lea. I tried to drive west out of town to see if I could see anything, but it was just moving too fast. And I did see some frame grabs from someone that captured video of the rotation, and it didn't look like a funnel descended all the way, fully condensed, weak EF0 tornado. And so as the line came through Albert Lea, I shot some video of that. The winds blowing real hard, rain. And from there, Albert Lea sits right at the intersection of I-90 and I-35. I hopped on I-35 right in the back end of the... I wish I had some... I wasn't driving. I would show you guys images of it where I was at, what I experienced in there. But just kind of imagine a comma shape, and I am on the inside of the comma. I'm tucked in towards the head of it where it all curls back in. So headed up into there, and it was still like 56, 57 degrees Fahrenheit in there, so fairly warm for mid-December. Got to Minneapolis and started driving northwest on I-94 towards Alexandria, Minnesota, which was in a winter storm warning. So on the back side of this comma, this big low pressure, you get the cold air back there, snow. This time of year, if something like that comes through, you're going to get snow on the backside, strong winds. So I got to Alexandria, and sure enough, winter storms just unfolding, snow's blowing really hard, winds ripping. It was a neat experience. I got into this Target parking lot. Snow was collected and blowing off the roof of the Target. It was just swirling around. It was like being inside a snow globe. I did that for a few, stayed in Alexandria for the night, shot video there for a few hours. And here we are now, we're traveling northwest of I-94 right now. This is the aftermath of it. I've been watching, I haven't seen any more slide-offs yet to add to the count, but we've seen 5 slide-offs here so far. I may have missed one there driving off through that. We'll say, we're going to say we missed one, we're going to bump it up to 6 now. May have missed one. Count of 6 slide-offs here. But this is I-94. I drove this stretch yesterday morning right after the winter storm, but it was still active. It was active until 10 a.m. yesterday. Rough driving conditions. It's almost easier sometimes to drive on the roads before they've been cleared or anything. It's just snow. You get better traction, and then they kind of get plowed and cleared off, and they get driven on and slick down and get icy, and then the strong winds blow over them and kind of polish them down, make them even slicker. They should have some signs up though, warning people that it's still kind of slick out. I did almost go sideways too. I almost had my own slide off yesterday. I hit a spot and the Subaru started going sideways a little bit, and then I let off the gas and locked in, and a few seconds later caught traction again and locked me in and straightened me out. But for a brief moment there, I thought I was gonna put it into the ditch or into the side of the, I thought it was go right underneath one of those overpasses. So again, I think it was the shadow of the overpass was making the spot icier. But I was a little nervous there for a split second. I was already planning to get, I had already made the tire call at that point, so I was already planning to get new tires. So I was wondering, I was thinking to myself, I wonder if the new tires would have helped, would have made things better in that situation or not. Maybe I wouldn't have lost traction at all. But that we will never know. But I do have the new tires now. I just got them installed last night. Cooper Discover AT34S. I know there's more slide-offs coming up here. I saw them, like, the cars still slid off the road yesterday up this way. That was 6 that we counted just before and after Alexandria, and I saw at least that many between here and Fargo yesterday, so. Be on the lookouts on the side of the roads, left and right, for churned up dirt, tracks, dirty snow. Where a car slid or semi slid off the road. Saw a few semis and a few cars yesterday. Thanks for all the likes, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Just driving here towards Fargo, then I'm going to head up to Grand Forks. Probably stay the night there. Waiting for my COVID test results to arrive in the email. In email, not the email. There's a plow on the left side. There's a nasty road spot right here. left lane. It's not as nasty in the left lane. A little bit of ice and stuff in the left lane here. Now I'm going to get back in the right lane. Right lane's clear. And I bet the right lane's going to get bad here again, and the left lane's going to clear. Or maybe they'll both be nasty. The left lane looks good now. Been working on some graphics for the channel and the store. We're gonna go with 2 different graphics, I think. One that's a little more cartoony for the kids, and then one that's a little bit more adult, professional-like. Got the Danger Zone one for the kids. It's kind of cartoony, kind of fun. Of course, I might scare them, so I don't know. Did anybody get a chance to, did you see the highlights video I posted of the Maycember fiasco? Thanks, Tex. Thanks for joining, Tex. I saw some people asking questions. Has anyone got some questions I missed? Try to answer the ones I saw when I could. How many people are traveling for Christmas? A lot of people traveling. Wonder if we'll have a easy travel day around Christmas this year if there'll be some weather. It looks like maybe things will settle down for a little bit. I ran the models last, which was, I don't think I ran them yesterday, but I looked at the GFS maybe the night before or something like that. And it looked like things were going to settle down a little bit for the rest of December. I could kind of use a break now. It's been busy, and we got Christmas coming up. We got a hockey game to go to in Winnipeg, which hopefully they don't cancel it because of the Omicron variant. The game the other day got postponed, the Calgary Flames versus Blackhawks, because Calgary has like 6 players and a coach all in COVID protocol. You got the Omicron variant, and then you've also got that annual winter spike. So there you go. Here's I-94 for those that are just joining in. Driving through where the winter storm warning happened 2 nights ago. Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Lake, Minnesota. Some dark skies up ahead. I wonder what's up there. Maybe I should take a peek at radar. Oh, there's some light snow showers up ahead. Southwest of Fargo. Headed towards Fargo. Might get a little snow in Fargo up here. You can see the dark clouds. Starting to feel more like regular winter now. It's been so warm. November was so slow. A couple of weak little winter storms. Nothing really to chase. Nice geomagnetic storm at the beginning of November. Some beautiful northern lights. Incredible northern lights. You should go check out my time lapse on the YouTube channel of that. I was concentrating on the road for a second to figure out what was going on. And then December started kind of slow, and then this last 8, 9, 10 days has been quite a ride. Maycember. Chased the wedge tornado, quad state supercell from Jonesboro, Arkansas, northeast all the way to Tennessee, Dyersburg, Tennessee. And then that storm eventually produced another tornado, second tornado, right in the same path very quickly. That ended up going through Mayfield, Bremen, Kentucky, producing terrible damage, deaths, all right before Christmas, so that really sucks. It sucks regardless, especially this time of year. It's cold, holidays. And then a few days later, we get this moderate risk in Iowa, Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota. Ketchup, potato chips. Peter. Ketchup and barbecue, probably a tie. Although it used to be barbecue before I discovered ketchup, potato chips. And then now I kind of have the ketchup ones over barbecue even. That's because I ate barbecue for so many years. I like sea salt and vinegar. Yeah, sour cream and onion rank up there pretty high with me. Ooh, the cracked pepper chips. I like those as well. I get those as well. You can get them at I used to get them at Whole Foods when I lived in Austin, Texas. There's Canuck Grow with the ketchup. can't live in Canada and not have ketchup chips be your favorite ever. I might have time to do a Storm Chaser food review video now. I mean, I definitely have time. Sometimes I just I gotta be feeling it and wanting to do it, and haven't felt it the last couple of chases. Haven't had time really, and haven't felt it. But we'll see if I can find a place I can do one here up in maybe Grand Forks. Since it's been a while since I've added a new video to that playlist. But if you guys want to, you can go watch the old ones. I have a playlist with all the Storm Chaser food review videos in it. Thought maybe I missed another. Gonna be a white Christmas in Fargo, North Dakota. Huh, yeah. Those fried pies were so good. The burger was really good too. But that fried pie, my gosh. Weirdest storm I've ever seen. Not Maycember. Geez, I don't know. That's a tough one. I have to think about that one for a while. I don't know. There was a storm when I was in high school, when I was still living in LaPorte, Indiana. It was just lake effect, a small little area, but we were snowed in with no power for like 2 weeks in like March like 10th. We were just set up perfectly in that snow band for like a day, and it just dumped feet feet of snow. Yeah, that's all right. It comes with the territory, I guess, for people. Everyone's a no, not everyone, but a lot of know-it-alls out there. I had to take my sunglasses off. It's getting so dark. Yeah, couch chasers for sure. Yeah, well, I've got the phone just mounted right up here on the window. So I literally just, it's like a heads-up display. I just have to glance over for a second. And I still have an eye on the road. Reading the comments with one eye and the other eye's on the road. It's basically like looking at what channel you're listening to on the radio, but even less distracting because I don't have to move my head at all. I just look a little bit more right than straight. And if I feel like I'm in a situation where I need to pay closer attention, I just don't look at the comments. So, but when I'm just cruising down the interstate, for example, and there's no one around, it's just the car practically drives itself these days anyway. With the lane, keeps you in the lanes, keeps your speed. Cruise control and adaptive cruise control, so as you come up on another car, if they're going slower, the Subaru automatically slows itself down and maintains a safe distance from the car ahead. Like during the heat of the chase, you won't see me responding to comments because I need my full focus on chasing the storm and driving safely, chasing the storm. So I miss everything. I don't see I totally like tunnel vision into the focus of the storm and don't see anything happening on the screen. Like during Ida, I was so wrapped up in the chase, I didn't realize until much later there was like 25,000 people watching and like hundreds of dollars in donations came flooding in, and I didn't even, all of a sudden it was just, I noticed it after the fact, like holy crap. I was totally zoned out, zoned into the chase, in the danger zone. Frozen lakes. Looks and feels like winter now today. 18 Fahrenheit here in Minnesota. Snow on the ground. Just 2 hours or so south of here though. Was chasing tornado warnings the other day. Yeah, well, much different Wednesday night. Wednesday night here, there was blowing snow, whiteout conditions, blizzard-like conditions. Winter storm warning was here. Here's the exit to Fergus Falls. I saw someone was asking where I was at, and someone said they thought I was near Fergus Falls. Yeah, you're right. Here's the exit for Fergus Falls. The winter storm warning had wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. A severe thunderstorm wind gusts with snow. I found, I think, something close to that at one point. Hello, Love to Hunt. Thanks. Happy holidays. There's a slide off there, 7 or 8, 7. We'll say 7. Probably missing the ones that are cars, as they're a little harder to see. To knock the ice off my rear wiper. Won't wipe. Yeah, for I-94 just northwest of Fergus Falls. Or we're going through Fergus Falls right now. Should have got the large coffee. I'm already down my medium coffee. And I want more coffee now. No, not chasing any storm warnings, just driving through the aftermath the other day's winter storm warning. Talking about the chase the other day. Went from tornado warning to winter storm warning in about 2.5 hours. I've never done that before, that's for sure. That was a first for me. It was a really, I mean, just it looked impressive on radar, on satellite, that system. Big old comma shape. From winter storm warnings to tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, high wind warnings, fire weather warnings. You name it, it had it. Surprised we didn't get an earthquake and all that too. Recent stories. Well, I don't know about recent. I can tell you some old stories though, like the how about Canton, Texas, EF4 wedge tornado on April 30th, 2017. That was actually the first day. We're good friends now, Reed and I. But that was actually the first day that I had ever met Reed in person. So I had chased the day before in Oklahoma and then spent the night in like Lawton. I think it was Lawton, Oklahoma. Let me just fix the map here real quick. So I'd stay the night in Lawton, Oklahoma on April 29th, 2017. And woke up the next day. It was in the cold sector. It was cold that morning. I remember being real cold, gloomy, nasty. Definitely not severe weather. But the threat was that day was down further south in Texas. So just a few hours away in Texas. And I remember driving south on I-35 and stopped at there's a slide off there. That's 8 on the other side. Counts. 8 slide offs now. But I stopped at I was driving down the interstate, got into the warm sector somewhere in southern Oklahoma. It warmed up fast, like 70s, typical spring day. And there's another slide off. There's 9. And I stopped at another slide off, 10. We're in a high impact zone here. Let me turn it around here for a second. We'll get back to the story. See if we see any more slide offs. Up to 10 remnants and slide offs now. You can see the snow showers that are ahead. Oh, we're out of the impact zone now. So I stopped at the rest area on the state line there, just inside inside Texas, headed south to South Mountain. And I ended up running into Reed Timmer at the rest area, at the bathroom. And so we chatted for a little bit. We had been talking on social media or sharing each other's stuff and all that. I'd never met in person and ran into each other and chatted for a little bit. Talked about the day ahead. It wasn't really a day wasn't anticipated to be a very potent day for severe weather. I think it was maybe an enhanced risk and 5% tornado risk. So it looked like it was probably going to be like a a shelf cloud coming through, like Texarkana or something like that. And so we part our ways, you know, say hi and all that, part our ways. He was just getting there, so I was on my way out. So I head on south down into Texas. I end up going a little east of Dallas, northeast of Dallas, north of I-20, maybe like 20 miles. I forget what town it was, but I'm hanging out there for a while, watching stuff. And then things just started erupting south of there, like well south of Canton. And you could tell there was some kind of boundary or something going on. And just all along that boundary, storms just started lighting up. And even one that was just was tornado warned just to my south. And so I get on that storm, and it's not really doing anything. And then I hear the reports of the first Canton wedge. I think we lost for a second, so I stopped the story. So I was probably like 20, 30 miles north of Canton, north of I-20, and on a storm there that was briefly tornado warned, but it didn't look that good. And then I see the reports that there's a tornado that has formed well south of Canton on a supercell down there. I'm like, okay, I think I need to drop south, get on these storms further to the south, because that's where they're going to produce at. This is a little too far north. So I start blasting south towards I-20 and Canton. And right as I get into Canton, this storm that was previously tornado warned that I saw is coming into Canton and riding that boundary. And it was tornado warned. I had rotation and storm relative, but right as it comes into Canton, it goes just west of Canton and dissipates. And so I missed the tornado. I didn't see that tornado. But on radar, I see another one has exploded, and it's got a couplet on it. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. I'm in position for this one. I'm here already. It's coming right up to me here in Canton. So I'm watching it, and I'm like, okay, I need to maneuver a little bit more east, because I was in the rain in Canton, couldn't see anything. So I jump on I-20, and I go east, maybe 5 or 6 miles east of Canton, and get off the interstate there, and I'm looking and radar, and there's a little dinky road that goes southwest off of I-20, which runs east-west. And yeah, I can show you the road. And so I punch in. I decided I'm gonna punch in here towards the storm so I can get a look at this. Looks like a really violent or a strong tornado on radar. So I'm driving down this road, headed towards the tornado warning of the rotation. Tall trees. So this is a really wooded area of Texas. There's lots of trees. Makes it hard to chase. Bad road network and stuff. So, but I'm determined to get a look at this tornado. So I'm driving, creeping in, watching radar, paying attention to where I'm at, watching this, looking at the sky, trying to figure out where the tornado is at. Because all I can see is really right above me because of all the clouds. And I come to this clearing of this field, opening, and pop out of the trees. And I'm like, there it is. I can see the wedge shape. It's just, there it is. It's just to my southwest, coming at me. But I have a clear view to it, towards it. I can't really see the bottom because it was still kind of far away and it was a big wedge. But I can tell it's the wedge, right? And I'm sitting there. I get out and I grab my camera and I'm sitting there filming it probably for 5 minutes. And it's coming right at me. I filmed it for as long as I could that I felt comfortable filming it. I started seeing the right side of it ripping up trees and swirling around, and it's making a beeline right. I'm right in the path of this thing. So I have to move. If I stay there, I potentially get killed by this tornado. So I run back to the truck. I probably got about 60 seconds till the tornado is going to come through where I'm at, because it was moving fast. I think it was moving like 40, 50 miles per hour. I run back to the Jeep Grand Cherokee at the time, just toss my camera, still rolling, into the back seat of the Jeep, and get the heck out of there. I wanted to back off because there's so many trees. Like, I knew behind me it was all just trees, and I didn't want to get caught by tree that falls out. There's a slide off there. That's 11. I didn't want to get caught by a tree that's comes down by strong inflow, so I backed off and got out of there, trying to get back to the interstate where I might have a decent view at seeing it. But this was the most scared I've ever been by a tornado. This was a scary tornado, just because it was hard to see with the trees and everything. It was large. It was violent. EF4, high-end EF4. Trees getting thrown everywhere. It was a scary tornado for sure. And it crosses the interstate and ends up killing someone right there in the interstate. It blew someone off the interstate into the car dealership that was right there. But I did a vlog of it. You can see that whole chase. There's a slide off there through the fence. That's 12. If you go to my YouTube channel, my playlist, it's the Canton, Texas Wedge vlog. Tell the video format. You can see all the visuals, everything I saw that day. Bad damage. The car dealership, there were cars tossed everywhere. The dealership building was gutted. That was a nasty tornado. Just 2 weeks before that, I chased the Dimmitt, Texas supercell. 2%. It was the first storm to be captured on supercell, tornadic supercell to be captured on the new GOES 16 satellite at the time. That satellite just gone online like a few days before, and then that supercell happened. It was in a 2% tornado risk area. It was a slight risk, but it was 2%, right along the dry line. Supercell. It was just a rain shower at first formed just west of Dimmitt, and then it just eventually grew into this cyclic, slow-moving cyclic supercell tornado-producing machine. So produce like 5 or 6 tornadoes. I also did a webisode of Dimmitt. In fact, that's the very first webisode I ever did on my YouTube channel back in 2017. Hi, Brian. I'm glad you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. And I assume likely a subscriber. The preliminary rating of the Kentucky tornado is an EF4. 2 EF4s. The first one from Jonesboro to western Tennessee was an EF4 with 170 mile per hour max winds. And then shortly after that, a second one formed. And it was an EF4 with 190 mile per hour max winds. All preliminary at the moment. Sounds like those tornadoes the other night. Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska might go down as a world record of fastest moving tornadoes. Moving over 100 miles per hour. There's a slight risk for severe weather, though, today down in Texas, Oklahoma, and Texas. .2% tornado risk. Extends from just southeast of Wichita Falls, Texas, northeast, just southeast of Oklahoma City, Norman, north of Dallas, right across the Red River, all the way into western Arkansas. 2% tornado risk. Small little area in western Arkansas. Lots of trees and mountains there. Adirondacks, Ozarks. Coming up on Fargo here, snow showers just to the west-southwest. Light snow. No, I've got no urination station in the car. There's some geese. A couple flocks of geese. Focus on the dirty windshield. So. Probably stop and get lunch here in Fargo. Hungry. The question is what? Could you do something that's food truck review friendly? Or something that's not, like pho. I kind of want to sit down, but if I do food review video, it's better to do it in my shooting studio here inside the car. Merry Christmas, Michael. I can't stop sneezing. There's a poke bowl place here. I don't know if that's good for a food review video though. Thank you for all those bless yous. Bless yous. Nah, something was tickling inside my nose, making me sneeze. 15 degrees here in Fargo. Dakota weather system seems like Florida. That's awesome. I saw it was negative 43 Fahrenheit in somewhere in Alaska the other day. Oh shit, I was supposed to keep going straight there. Alright, it's alright, you can go this way too. think I've been right through this area before, crossing into Minnesota. We're now we're just crossing into North Dakota, going the other direction. All right, guys, I'm going to take a break, grab some lunch. Thanks for tuning into the stream. It was fun to have you guys riding along with me. It's time to call an end to the stream. Make sure you subscribe. You get alerts when I go online in the future. And maybe get a little break here from storms for a while. So I'll see you guys later. Have a good weekend. It's Friday. Don't do anything too stupid tonight on Friday night. Make sure you subscribe. All right, later.